G'day guys, welcome to my Rxys V2 video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Hyundai Aleague recap for 2019 guys, so let's get started. So that first match of that game, we see the Central Coast Mariners going up against Adelaide United. What I can definitely say is Adelaide United play absolutely really well, but into that great attacking play, what I can definitely say to you guys is that one of the most key things that you can actually do is do attacking play and making sure that your players are very consistent, because really into that formation, if you want to get into that squad, you have to really train really hard and make sure that you can play your game properly. Because for the Central Coast Mariners, every time I see them, they're just not winning any games, but they only won against Perth Glory, and that's the only thing that I just found out. Yeah, so really what I can definitely say is that Adelaide United are one of the most good attacking teams in the comp, and really I knew for a fact that Adelaide United were going to get this win against the Central Coast Mariners, because last time Adelaide United played against the Central Coast Mariners, Adelaide United won another game, and they've gone up against the Central Coast Mariners at Central Coast Stadium anyway. And really what I can definitely say to you guys is that Central Coast Mariners need to aim up their game, because if they don't aim up their game, they're just going to fall on top, and then they're just going to crack, and then really they're not going to have any team into that squad that are going to play very good football, because really they're just not playing their best, and they're just trying, but they're not going to get their team into a great attacking formation, because really if they're just going to do that, then really they're just going to lose every game. And I just see Central Coast Mariners are not a great football team anyway for that team. But really I can definitely say to you guys is that this game was an absolutely great game, and it was a 3-1 scoreline up against the Adelaide United anyway. So Central Coast Mariners and Adelaide United were playing their heart out, but unfortunately for the Central Coast Mariners, they've lost this game 3-1 anyway. The next game of that round, we see the Western United going up against the Newcastle Jets. What I can definitely say to you guys is that this game was a brilliant game to watch, and really I can definitely tell to you guys is that if I can definitely believe that Western United can be a very good squad, sometimes they can lose that match, and it was a very tight match to see this win going up against the Newcastle Jets. And really, great players can be absolutely great talents to this team, the Newcastle Jets. Really, what I can definitely tell to you guys is that this game was a good cracking game of football, but for the Newcastle Jets, really, for that 1-0 scoreline going up against the Western United, I had this one going up against that team, and I just think that this game, though, was a brilliant game to watch. But seeing this game, had that splintering attack, Western United can be very good into that attacking ability, and how the way they play in that formation is absolutely phenomenal, and how the way they actually execute very well, like for Bessa Brisha and lots of other players though too. They can be very good into that attacking forward and stuff like that. So what I can definitely say to you guys is that this game was an absolutely great game, and it was a 1-0 scoreline going up against the Western United, but Western United didn't win that game. It was the Newcastle Jets that won that game, only by 1 goal. But what I can definitely say to you guys is that this game was a great game, and really if this game would have had that potential of a win, it would have been the Western United, but unfortunately they didn't get the win, and they just lost that match. And really they just played a good game of football, and really I can definitely tell to say one of the most great attacking teams of this game has to go to Western United, because they absolutely play really well, and I just think how the way they do it is absolutely great, and it's just it just really happens that often. But I can definitely say to you guys is that this game would have had to be a great game of football, and it was. So 1-0 scoreline for the Newcastle Jets that won that game. And yeah, well done the Newcastle Jets anyway. The next game of that round, we see the Brisbane Roar going up against the Melbourne City. What I can definitely tell is that one of the most greatest teams into this forward side, for this attacking side, is Brisbane Roar and the Melbourne City side. Really, for this match, going up against this match, sorry for that, I do have gastro in my system, but I can definitely tell to you guys, also too, Melbourne City are the most great attacking team in the comp, and I can definitely also say is that one of the most greatest teams in the comp, it has to go to Melbourne City anyway, because they are just one of the most great attacking teams into that comp, and they can just lead into that strong, intelligent, and also one of the most attacking teams. But I just think for this game, though, if this hasn't been for you guys, it was just one of the most hardest games to play for, because Brisbane Roar are the most hardest team to beat, and also for the Melbourne City also too, because Jay McLaren is in that Melbourne City squad, and he probably, I don't know, got a couple of goals also, and I don't know about the Brisbane Roar, because really I have not seen this one play at all, but I just think one of the most greatest games of that game has to go to these two clubs. I can have this one making this win, but it was a tight win, but I hate to say Melbourne City just really stepped up, but unfortunately they didn't get the win. It was a 4-3 scoreline up against Brisbane Roar, but Brisbane Roar just really just had that attacking ability, and really for this squad, I just hate to say Brisbane Roar are a great team to make that win up against any club for the Hyundai Aleague anyway. But really, for this club, I hate to say 10 out of 10 goes for you guys. And yeah, 4-3 to scoreline. But yeah, well done to Brisbane Roar anyway. Certainly, the next game of that round, we see the Sydney FC up against the Melbourne Victory. Well, I can definitely say also too, for these awesome two clubs, for these another two clubs, I just think for this game was just superb. For this club, I think Sydney FC are the first on the ladder that just absolutely calibrate how the way they play and how the way they do it. It's just phenomenal. How the way they formate into that squad, it's just really amazing how the way they do it. But it was a 2-1 scoreline up against the Melbourne Victory anyway. But I hate to say for Sydney FC, they played really well, and I just think they can step up very, very good. And I hate to think that for other clubs that compete, like play up against Sydney FC, I just think Sydney FC would just step up and get a win also too. But I hate to think that if Central Coast Mariners, say, for instance, going up against the Sydney FC, I reckon Sydney FC will probably beat the Central Coast Mariners anyway. But for instance, if this club can be very good, it's the Sydney FC, because I just think for these two awesome clubs, for the Melbourne Victory, I just think for this club, also for the Melbourne Victory side, I can say that Melbourne Victory can be a very good club, but sometimes they can go down or up. But I hate to think that sometimes for them they can lose a game or win a game. But it was a hard game to watch and a hard game to see. So it was a 2-1 scoreline. And yeah, well done to the Sydney FC anyway. But I felt so sorry for the Melbourne Victory to get that losing win up against the Sydney FC anyway. Thanks guys for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. I will be doing heaps more videos coming to you also soon. The fishing vlog will be also doing that every Wednesday, but also I will be putting that up into that YouTube channel on Thursday too, to broadcast out to you guys that also love my videos. But yeah, thanks guys for watching this video. Until then, take care and have a good one.